done here. Get some! Tag 'em and bag 'em.
Hello. Yes, ma'am. Ghosts? I thought we wiped them out in Bullhead. Anyway, good on you for seeing things through and recovering the supplies. Feel free to take a breather. If you need to rest, there are plenty of spare beds in the barracks. Speak with me when you're ready for the next gig. Yes, ma'am. I had been educated by the followers as a child, and became a teacher. Enjoyed it. Loved history. Still love it. I'm not sure what drove me to sign up, but I did, and with my background, they gave me a commission. And that, as they say, is how I got here. I had a relationship with an enlisted woman at my last duty station. Something of a scandal, so I was told I could either resign or accept a transfer to this illustrious station. Outside of the odd Legion explorer who snipes at us, or a really hungry band of geckos, no, it's very quiet here. We just watch the trade routes. it keeps up like this, absolutely not. I don't have any desire to spend the next 20 years babysitting the dregs of the NCR. You really think that? I mean, I considered it, and there's always a chance I can get transferred out of here, but the only way I can redeem myself is through some kind of combat action, and I'm not going to see that here, most likely. I mean, look, even if the Legion does show up here, it's probably not going to be much more than, say, a raiding party. Now, the brass has made it abundantly clear what they think of my career prospects. We've got a little time before the Rangers get back, and if there is going to be trouble, I'd like to use that time training these troops. Most of them are conscripts with just rudimentary training. If what I've heard is true, you know quite a bit about fighting. And I'd like to pass some of that on to these grunts, if you're willing. But once again, the issue is time. Since you're the one doing the teaching, I'm going to defer to your judgment on this. What would you like to emphasize? That works for me. I'll go ahead and get them formed up. We'll start with the instruction. By the way, Ranger Josie radioed in. He'll be here shortly. Feel free to check in with him once we're done with training.
Wish I could have been there to see Caesar die.
There's a big group of them. They coming across the river in droves, most women and children. That's all that's left. The men mostly died off fighting in this big old battle there. A fellow by the name of Titus Atticus apparently stomped the living shit out of them. Worst thing about all this is big old Legion army is chasing them as they come this way. They're just killing every slave they see. It's ugly. It's gonna get bad here. I don't think Lieutenant Hodges there appreciates just how serious it is. I don't know nothing about them funny Legion units, but if we were going by our sizes, I'd say there's about a battalion bearing down on us. What we gotta do is get these troopers squared away. Also see if we can get some of these slaves to fight for us. Me and Watson will see to the slaves. You need to talk to the CO about wrangling up some reinforcements. So get on it.
What an asshole.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything left to be done. I've contacted Major Spears repeatedly and harangued him for reinforcements. Spears is in Bullhead. He doesn't appreciate how dire the situation is. Maybe you could convey that to him.
Nelson's back in our hands. Hope we can defend.
Lieutenant, for the last time, I have no more men to spare. You must make do with what you have. Now look here. I'm under strict orders here to maintain the garrison at its current strength. I can't deviate from it. I'm sorry. Oh, well, I guess I can. Reinforcements? You know, I think we can cut a little red tape for you. Just this one time. We'll send the reinforcements your way. And after this is all done, hey, look me up in Bullhead, okay?
Bend it this time.
Yes, ma'am. Really? Well, I'm impressed. That's great. Really. By the way, Josie wants to talk to you. There's a situation with the slaves.
Is it me, or has brother stopped engaging us? As far as Marcy New
Kind of a hellraiser when I was young, like Joaquin, my cousin. It was enlistment or jail. Well, I signed up. That's all there is to it. Well, I'd gone infantry, so I figured I was already at maximum suck doing that. So what the fuck did I have to lose? Turns out the barrel of suck goes a hell of a lot lower than I figured. Example, standing in this shithole. And over 50 engagements, shot, speared, stabbed. I'm still standing here. Last place was Firebase Zulu. That was a nice little piece of hell. Well, leading came with, I don't know, about 1,000 men. We were up on this hill there. There's a lot of artillery, and it was bad. In the end, we just kind of held them off there. Lost a lot of good men, but that's how it goes. Worst part of it is we're giving the fucking thing up now. Damn silver mines dried up. Politicians say it ain't worth dying over no more. Yeah, I think that's what they call a pubic victory. You know, it's kind of like where you have sex with this skank you don't like, think you're getting her, but then she gives you crabs, you find them a few days later. Kind of like that. You know, you asking me questions, I'm gonna ask you one. What was all that business up there in Utah? Heard you got shot up, town got killed, a bunch of other mess. What really happened up there? Damn, they got you pretty good, didn't they? Hold on, I got one I can show you on my... Well, you might not want to see that. You should be proud of them scars, friend. Sure as shit are going up against Marco. All I seen from you is somebody went through hell and came out on the other side, at least with some of their integrity intact. Right there's something to be proud of. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. You got that right. Been all over, from Baja all the way and back. What you want to know about? Yeah, I met that asshole. Serious as a serial killer. We shared barracks for a stretch back in '79. It was tight quarters, so we had to get pretty familiar with each other. He spent most of his time scowling and cleaning his rifle. One day, he got all pissed off when he found me jerking off in his rack. I said I wasn't moving, and he pulled a fucking piece on me. So there I was, cock in hand, with Boone pointing that barrel right at my dome. That was a dilemma. Blue balls, or a bullet in the brain. Motherfucker tried to bulldog me, stare me down. So I unloaded like a true ranger, all over his blue sleeping bag. Nothing like rubbing one out with a loaded gun aimed at your face. It was quite a thrill. I tried to get a hooker to duplicate the scene, you know, as a fetish. She shot herself in the foot. Oh well. Alright, what you want to know? Yeah, I was on assignment there a while back, conducting a reconnaissance mission on the local poontang. Well, being neck deep in leashed pussy has some drawbacks, like gonorrhea. Felt like someone put a blowtorch in my dick. So I stopped in at that Mormon fort where those hippie doctors give free treatment. Sure enough, they set me up with some antibiotics. I just never expected him to be so whiny and preachy. Some cross-eyed twat tried to lecture me about alcoholism, then wanted a donation. I was a little under the influence, so I interpreted donate as grab my tits. She got all jumped up and started hauling, so I made another donation and then pissed on their sign, even though it burned. They're gonna come over, chunk some spears, shoot a few mortars over, and they're gonna scream and yell some retribution bullshit. That's about it. Old boy in charge is a pretty big douchebag, but I don't think that's in the official fucking reports, but yeah, that pretty much sums him up. Yep, I made the mistake of walking into the Ultralux. I heard someone say it was glamorous, so I thought they'd have tits on full display. Nothing glamorous about it, believe me. That didn't stop me from getting shit-faced, though. Place was much more interesting after a few shots. So I minded my own business, and some mime with a clown mask tells me I'm dressed inappropriately, and they frown on public intoxication. I sort of blacked out, but somebody who was there said I took that mask and applied it to my genital area while screaming, "I'm President Kimball." I think that description is exaggerated. He also said that I took a mean shit in their fountain. Apparently that's why I'm banned from Ultralux. I've met plenty of freaks, though one does stand out. I was down in a bar. Might have been Nipton. I don't remember much from that night. I was drinking and talking to some girl when this guy strolls in with a gas mask and crazy hair. Called himself you scabies. With that mask and outfit, I assumed he was a migrant worker. Anyway, he eased up to the bar with a look like someone just shit in his hat. He talked like there was a cock stuck in his throat. Took him 10 minutes to order a fucking beer, and I was getting thirsty. I politely asked him to hurry his ass up. He said, "Courier, slow, drink, blood, bull, bear." I said, "Bitch, are you on chems?" He started getting pissy, repeating, "Package, divide, package, divide." I told him, if his package got near my divide, I'd cut his motherfucking throat. So he said, "Step outside." I had to blind him. Ain't fooling out on time, you bloody knuckles. This wasn't my first rodeo. I had brass knuckles in my pocket. I wasn't sure what to expect from this clown. There I was, ready to go. And he produced a flagpole. I didn't know if I was supposed to fight. Late. I started laughing, so did everyone else. And I laughed out from the booze. No one should have eaten beforehand. You scabies. Preaching asshole I ever met. Wouldn't shut the fuck up about getting shafted by some mailman. Well, boo fucking who, bitch. I had a night stalker bite one of my nipples off. You don't hear me whine. I once saw a guy get stung in the balls by a cazador. Even that poor bastard didn't complain like you scabies, fucking pussy. Unless you're retarded, crippled, or your cock doesn't work, shut the fuck up. If you can't toe the line, just get drunk. There's your philosophy. Yeah, I got some kinfolk in the service. Cousin by the name of Joaquin. He sits on his ass in Boulder City. Supposed to be hunting bounties. He's about useless, just like the rest of them bounty hunters. Fucking stupidest job I've ever heard of, believe you me. Job description. Will your boot fit up the ass of a hobo? How about a really mean retard on chems? Yeah? Hired, motherfucker. So yeah, Joaquin chases down bounties and, well, there was Uncle Billy. He got discharged after fucking a super mutant. We don't talk about him. Look, I don't scare easy, but I'll admit, there's one fella who made me nervous. He was some kind of doctor. Dr. Duluth? Dalliance? It made no goddamn sense because he wasn't like any doctor I ever met. I was a bit under the influence when I saw this guy near Good Springs, so some of the details might be hazy. Anyway, this guy was pale, with a big mustache and a crazy glint in his eyes. Wore a duster and a big-ass cowboy hat like some kind of Brahmin hunter. What was weird was his crew. A zombie, Deathclaw, a robot, and some psycho kid. To top it off, there was a rad roach. Now you might be saying, this simple motherfucker was high, seeing things. I only had 2 hits of Jeff that day. I know what I saw. The doctor said he was looking for somebody named Ronald Dickenher. Oh, Dillinger, that's it. Asked if I could help them track him down. I wasn't really occupied, so I said okay. Wrong fucking choice. We wander around for a bit, sort of aimlessly. He starts singing about goot and a boot. If he wasn't singing, he was talking to the Deathclaw. Anyway, we rolled up on some raiders. That crew of his was mopping them up before I could get my gun out of the holster. What scared me was how he just kept singing. Even when he was shooting. On top of it all, he blew all their heads off. After they were dead. And there he was, singing like a Mad Hatter, covered in brains and blood. And he breaks out goo-goo bars. I politely refused. While his crew was chowing down, I made my exit. As I slipped away, I could still hear him singing. It haunts my dreams.
They were made, if you ask me.
Wish I could have been there to see Caesar die.